Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode, recording of Hearthstone. I'm calling them recordings. I'm getting better at that. So, we need to do, let's see, let's try Priest, then Hunter, then back and forth. And if we can get some good amount of victories in 4 games, we should be set up for a next recording session, because I'm really trying to do 3 every time now. That will at least stabilize the loss. And probably should do more than 3 every now and then to try and grow it further. As far as series go, when to stop doing Hearthstone and say like episode 100 and whatever, 101 is series 2, or 120 or 150 is series 3 is a little bit of a question. I'm going to be able to improve that though, because I'm just gonna pretty much whatever day the AAA game starts that series will be the day that Hearthstone starts that series too. So
face the light.
How do we want to do this?
Face the light. I don't know if that was the right move or not. I happen to... Seems like no, that wasn't the right move. Alright. In the light's name.
It can't heal anything, unfortunately. I wish I could think of a way to spice up Hearthstone. On that fact, I wish I could figure out a way to maybe do some more with Minecraft, but like right now, Minecraft is the furthest thing from my mind. I tried to do spotlights and they didn't get any views for the snapshots, and yeah, it's just they didn't get any views, and I didn't do a great job on it either. I guess inherently there's a lot more time that you need to put into it to get a polished, good-looking Minecraft video.
The damned stand ready.
Let's try that. Just off the top, trying to do a spotlight, trying to deal with the snapshots where the snapshot was buggy, and there was things I definitely didn't know, and I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I've even not really spent a lot of time on the server, my own server. That has been having its own problems lately, where basically all the data except for the Minecraft data is potentially going to be lost forever. So anywhere between 5 and 10 terabytes of backups and important files that in my regular life are just potentially going to be lost, and it's really sucky, but I've tried everything to try and recover this stuff, and it's not willing to cooperate. One of the hard drives in our RAID drive was actually physically damaged. And I tried to recover it,
My
and
fate is sealed.
it didn't seem like the recovery worked. In fact, it seems like the recovery may have even made it worse. And I just don't know. I'm still working on it, but it's been at least a week. And one of the problems with the RAID was that because it's 5 to 10 terabytes of data, I never could get enough hard drives. Just never had enough hard drives that would to let's see. What will kill this guy? Pretty much everything.
My fate is sealed.
So it wasn't a RAID drive, but it was in a RAID 0 drive, also known as Scary RAID. Sorry, blocking out there. I could just never get enough hard drives so that you could get any mirroring on there. And I think inherently that was the problem, but some of the ways I tried to recover it were not standard because it's not a Windows hard drive or anything like that. It's a Linux, and I was experimenting with Butter FS, which is a non-stable, a unstable, not completed format of the hard drive. And the reason why I was going with it was in hopes that it would have better handling and recovery, and I guess in this case it didn't. But in a lot of ways it fixes problems that have been going on for years, just because I never could have enough space in it. Effectively what I need to do is I need probably 13 out of 16 hard drives. I need 13 out of 16 of those to be replaced with 5 terabyte hard drives. And that is a lot of overkill, but that would mean I would have at least 4 to set up a RAID 10 and have enough space, probably. But if I lose all the data, then a lot of that stuff is out the window, and I don't know if I'm going to bother to replace it. A lot of it's just backups for old systems that don't matter anymore. Weird thing, and this is just me. Oh shoot, I forgot to attack. I installed Windows 10, and for the first time on my gaming PC, for the first time in decades, I actually got a virus. Just amazing. I had Windows Defender running, I thought, and then all of a sudden I started noticing Windows Defender wasn't running. And so I start working with it, and it's like, you can't just turn it on. You can't go to the security center and click turn on the antivirus.
One day, I'll be a
real
real knight.
What's going on here? And eventually I had to set up what's called a clean boot in I had to set up a clean boot so that whatever the virus was running didn't run at the very beginning. And once I was able to do that, I was able to uh, to turn on Windows Defender, run a scan, and when I ran the scan, it found it and deleted it. And now it's working fine, but wow. Some kind of security hole must have come through there, I'm assuming. But there is this window that maybe I installed it myself because I have this really elderly family member who is not Alzheimer's, but they're starting to get as forgetful as Alzheimer's patients. And so they will type emails and then hit the wrong button, usually like the X or something, and lose the email right when he's trying to send it. So I was trying to find something that's not a virus, something that's not hidden, but would record his keystrokes for him. So basically a keylogger, but a non-virus keylogger, something that would just memorize his things. Now, the right way to do this, of course, is just get him to use Google Documents to type the email, and then let somebody else copy and paste it from Google Documents into the email program. Because then Google Documents will save every keystroke, and it would be close to impossible for him to delete the file unintentionally. Here we go. Here we go. Like this. Look at that. But I'm thinking what I really need to do is just get him a Chromebook and take all of the complexities of Windows away from him. Just Chromebook straight up. If you have any problem, you hit the reset button and it just resets everything to the same way. The problem with doing something like that, of course, is that you can't run any other programs besides Chrome. It's just Chrome and plugins to Chrome that sometimes look like programs. So he has one specific genealogy program that he uses called Brother's Keeper that is a really old looking programmed thing made by like one guy. It looks like one of the programs that you might see working in any big business, just a program that was custom made and hasn't been updated or made for or polished in a way to sell to the masses. And it's a fine program, there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, it certainly wouldn't run on a Chromebook because you couldn't install anything. But so he would be a little upset about that, since that is one of the major things he does. But part of the problem too is he's got other people telling him technology solutions that aren't really solutions, or ways they want things done, and it's just not the right way. There's nothing worse than trying to help somebody with technology. Well, I guess there's nothing worse than trying to help somebody with technology, full stop, should be the sentence, but it does get worse when there's somebody else who's telling the opposite thing. And inherently, that is why there are corporate policies and such about who's in charge and who, as far as IT, and who you're supposed to listen to and how things are supposed to be done. And that solves most of that problem, but still people will ignore policy and do whatever they wanted, which is also another problem, is people just don't listen. And then IT can be a pain too. I saw an article recently about how does it really improve security to make people uh, change their password every 6 months, and people are bringing up studies and going, no, absolutely not. It doesn't. It's a ridiculous thing. If it is, it wouldn't put I wouldn't put it past the government to have a standards, because the government has a lot of standards that they recommend, and I wouldn't put it past them that one of their standards to be within compliance with that standards is that you are required to change password every 6 months. And depending on what industry your job works in, they may be required to be in compliance with that standard, or they may just want to be in compliance with that standard, or the IT guy just took that standard and made it the rules because why not? But it really is a dumb thing. It really, really is a dumb thing. You shouldn't have to change your password unless something horrible happens. You change your password after the password has been stolen or compromised, or if it's been forgotten. You don't just change it every 6 months. Ideally, you would want a super complicated, super long password that follows an employee for their 30 plus years of their career, and that password would never be compromised and never be questioned whatsoever. So, ideally, as an IT person, I want somebody to walk in their first day, tell them how they should make it the password. Okay, these are the rules. It needs a capital, a lowercase, a number, and it needs to be 12 to 65 characters long. And they'll go, what, really? And then you go, no, that really works. Just pick some words and put it together and make a sentence with it and put some numbers in it, and that'll be it. And they'll complain about it, but they'll eventually figure it out, and then they will have that really secure password and have it memorized. And after that, you hopefully would not have to do anything with their password ever again. And then when that person 30 plus years later is retiring, you can ask them, do you still remember your password? And he goes, of course I do. I've been typing it every day for 35 years. They're like, good job. We both did our job well. Now, if as an IT person I screwed up and compromised their password for them, that's my failure. And I suspect if you're working in an industry that is making you change your password all the time, as the end user, you might as well just assume that it is, because there is incompetence going on in the IT department of some sort. Either they are letting your passwords get leaked out to the wrong people, or whatever. The only passwords I would say should be changed every 6 months would be shared passwords, which shouldn't really exist at all. If, for example,
Face the light. Face the light.
There is a program and it has one administrator password, which is not good. Well, that password shouldn't stay the same for too long, because everybody that was given that shared password may not even work with the company anymore, or they may not still be authorized to do it. It would be ridiculous if 10 years down the line, some employee who used to work for a company could still go and type in the administrator password to your application and take full control of it.
Well played.
Face the light.
Let's see. I don't think there's anything more I can heal. So I'll end the turn there. But that is almost a hypothetical, because there shouldn't be shared passwords in any program. It should be as easy inside a program as it is inside a operating system to assign and reassign and revoke passwords. There we go.
Face the light.
There we go, we'll play that.
In the light's name.
And then I guess we'll put that there and then the turn. Now if he can do 2 damage to everybody, that will suck.
I enjoy raiding!
Ah, he enjoys raiding. Whenever character is healed.
How many fingers do you see?
Let's try this.
Face the light.
Attack here.
Face
Attack
the
here.
light.
And then end the turn. So who's he gonna attack?
My blade be thirsty.
Inspire, restore 2 health. Let's try
Are
this.
you afraid of the dark?
Here we go. So now we can do. Let's do this and then we invite him.
Face the light.
7.
Face the light.
There we go. Victory. 52. You're getting up there. So let's see. We need one more hunter, and then we'll maybe play one more priest. If we can get a victory on both of those, that would be nice. I don't know why I really got into talking about passwords. It's just, oh yeah, because I saw an article about it, and I feel passionate about it.
Rexa versus
But-
Rome.
For Doomhammer.
Never really
Let's
got
not
high up enough
begin.
in IT to be able to make decisions like that, though. And frankly, I've much more enjoyed being a YouTuber. IT would have paid more by far so far, but I'm hoping that changes.
Job's done.
But even the IT jobs I did have were never what I had hoped or expected when I was taking IT classes in school. There was always something swirling it. And so many IT jobs too are just, we want you to be the customer service representative and talk on the phone and reset people's passwords. And if I thought for a second that would go to a actual career where you're making policy, deciding policy, doing anything like that, I would be fine with it. But it's just not the case. I've seen people doing those jobs. They just either burn out and keep the job, or keep the job forever. They don't ever get promoted to anything other than the second level of customer support.
Mana.
So you go from when somebody calls and wants their password reset and you say, sorry, your password has been, can't be reset, they'll say, let me talk to your supervisor. You'll give them to the guy next to you, and the guy next to you will be one step above you, but that's the end of his career. Really, he's never going to get promoted to that. Being on the phones doesn't do it. It's just not even part of the career path. That's why I inherently refuse to take jobs like that, and even pretend. Kind of in the same way that if you were a burger flipper at McDonald's, you can't really expect that at some point you're going to be promoted to the CEO of McDonald's. It's just not on the career path at all. Let's destroy that and that.
Job's done.
In that turn. But even more frustrating than in the IT jobs I've taken is that the people that I thought I'd be working with oddly aren't the people that you would expect. There is a very high number of people that don't have any passion for IT stuff. Oh, I guess I should have summoned this first. Yeah, that would have been smart. So yeah, I've worked jobs where people don't even want to be in there. They want to be nurses. They want to work somewhere completely different, or they're not qualified at all that they have no intelligence or knowledge about computers. I met one who has never built a computer before at all, and I was like, well, you need to build a computer right now. And they're like, why is that so important? And I'm like, wait a minute, you want to be in IT and you have never even built a computer. Think about that. How many mechanics do you know have never done anything to a car? And they even get to begin working as a mechanic? None. Now, I guess inherently, arguments can definitely be made that when you're talking corporate IT, everybody just buys everything from Dell anyways, and they really don't need these to have built one. But it's more of a statement on your level of knowledge you want to do it. Do you want to know what a video card looks like? How do you plug one in? How do you take one out? Those things actually still occasionally pop up. Do you know what a hard drive looks like? That deal. It's just a level of experience.
What to do?
Type deal.
There is a lot at stake here.
But I can forgive people being inexperienced. I just can't forgive people being in a career path and not being interested at all. It's like you start telling them about computers and they're like, oh, you're such a nerd. Why are you always talking about computers? I'm like, wait a minute. We're in IT. You are doing the nerd job. You are supposed to be the nerd. And I'm sure that comes off and sounds a lot like I'm just an elitist and all that, but I'm like, no, I really don't think I am. If somebody has passion or just wants to learn, that's fine. I just don't want people in professional jobs when they don't want to give a professional effort or interest. And sadly, I ran into a lot of people in IT that were like that. I ran into one in particular who literally wasn't doing any work at all. He was just nothing. I was ironically, I was about to talk to the boss about him, and the boss let me go because of it being a temporary job, and they only wanted me for a certain time. And
The light shall bring victory.
so I figured, well, whatever. The two deserve themselves then, I guess. But I mean, just ridiculous. I started watching this guy, and I'm like, okay, of the 8 hours you're here, you're doing about 2.5 hours worth of work, and the rest you're listening to the radio, browsing the internet. And it's not like there wasn't work to be done. I'm fine with if we've got all the work done and there's nothing more, and we just have to be on call. We can sit around and do nothing, but it wasn't the case. He had things that were backed up, things he was supposed to have gotten done, and he wasn't doing it.
Face the light.
So, yeah, that was definitely weird. And inherently, I guess that's all the Yeti jumps. They've all been very weird. Like, ooh. Well, what the heck was that all about? Gain 10 mana crystals, discard your hand. Well, that was weird. Okay. Let's do this, this, and this. And attack with it.
Job's done.
I don't know what I sometimes I say these things, and I kind of in my mind think people are saying, what do you expect? Do you expect to walk through a door and then suddenly you're just on the Star Trek Enterprise Next Generation of one? So the D, I suspect, is what that is. And there's Jean-Luc Picard and Data and Riker, and they're all like, welcome home, Rydo. You have finally come. We are on your level. We understand how you think. We're going to have a great time. You are now in charge of comms. Or you're now in charge of engineering. Go report to Geordie LaForge. I'll work under Geordie. Why not? Because yeah, in my mind it kind of sounds like that's exactly what I'm saying is what I expect, but
How many fingers do you see?
it's really not what I'm expecting. This was a sucky thing he's done. Having that 10 mana. He must have an interesting deck that he could do something like that. But let's see, deal 2 damage.
Does this hurt?
But yeah, I don't really expect that. I expect people are gonna be unintelligent, and some people are just gonna be there for the job, and some people are not gonna really care about their job. It's just I thought in IT, I thought people would really more often have a passion about it, and I suspect the reason why I thought that is because my passion for it was so high, and now my passion for it's not that high anymore. Of my experiences in it, it's just been, yeah.
I see.
in the area I live, it's not Silicon Valley. It's not a situation where people where we're gonna start the next Apple or something like that. It's much more a situation where if there's an IT department, the management above it is scratching their head going, why do we need an IT department, and how do we outsource this and get rid of it? And there's definitely some lack of appreciation for it. And dare I even say reverence for it. And I think that eventually shapes the point where they don't want to hire the right people, or they want to hire somebody and then leave them alone and never deal with them again, which you might think is a good thing, but if that turns into, well, we're not even paying attention. Let's see. Or
fine, I'll wand.
I'll kill this one. There we go. Yeah, I've had companies that want to hire me, and they're like, well, we're not going to do any training, or we're not going to do anything, and I'm like, well, you really can't do that, you know. Your company has a history, unless it's just brand new. Unless I'm on the ground floor and I will be developing all the policies and procedures, and I will be deciding all of the software we're using, and everything will be my final say. Unless you're gonna say I can do that, then you really can't say you're not gonna let me know how you do your business. I mean, that pretty much means you're making it my business. If you're just gonna say,
the damned stand ready.
Say you're not gonna let me alone. Now, the training's probably not gonna be great, but I have to know how you guys do things. Unless you just don't want things done the way they used to be done, which then that beckons the real question of why do you not want things done the way they used to be done? Did you just fire all of the other employees?
Rise against you.
Alright, so I guess that's enough of this IT rant. I'm much more happier working for myself and being a YouTuber. Let me reiterate that. Well, working for my fans. I've never run into anything. Almost all comments that I do get, I definitely want more comments, but almost all of them have been positive. People say YouTube is full of people saying horrible things. It really hasn't been that experience for me. It hasn't. So thanks for that. Because yeah, this is way more fulfilling, and it gives me a lot more to do. I'm a lot happier about what I'm doing. Anywho, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and to watch every second of my videos. Let me know down in the comments you're working in IT horror stories, even if you were just a help desk employee, or if you believe that actually working as a help desk employee is an entry level towards being a higher up IT, like ops manager type position. Also, if you would be so kind, click on my name, Rydo. Go on the right is the blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. That would be very much appreciated. And then also follow and friend me on all those social media sites. I have a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.